Howdy everybody, how y'all doing? And welcome to Breaking the Ice with your host, me, Punkwaddle. Well, once again, we're back to a good old-fashioned Monday morning, right? So, it's time to sip on that coffee and, well, even if you didn't get enough sleep this weekend, maybe, the jolt of energy from the coffee will, help a little, right? At least, that's the intention. But you know what? There's a few people this weekend that may not be having a good old-fashioned Monday morning. In fact, they might have a bigger case of the Mondays than, well, what you or I may experience from time to time. And well, there is something about, right? We've all probably wondered if late night TV is ever gonna rise to the same height that it used to be back with the Leno and Letterman days, and then they started slow jamming the news, and well, I guess that old Stephen Colbert is facing the music, if you will, right? And I don't mean some of those ad jingles he did about during the lockdowns, but I don't know, maybe not talking out against the parent company or the company that's about to buy your parent company, right? Or I don't know if you guys thought he was funny. I mean, I thought he was entertaining enough on The Daily Show, a decade ago, but it's just like when somebody gets promoted because they're good at what they did then, doesn't necessarily mean they're going to do great at what they do next, right? I mean, it wasn't bad, but I feel like the bar of late night has definitely fallen just across the board, right? Yeah. But you know who else who might be having a rough Monday morning, right? That space case over there, that CEO of the astronaut company, right? Who well, I do believe the whole saying that people should respect what goes beyond behind closed doors, and people should be able to have a private life, right? But and I don't condone the cheating or doing things that hurt other people, but I will say, if you're going to do something extremely private and extremely something you don't want seen in public, maybe don't go to a big arena rock concert, where everybody can see you, whether they're on their own phones, and everything out in the world is being recorded constantly, right? I mean, just because they got caught on the kiss cam doesn't necessarily mean that nobody noticed, right? So, yeah. Well, I like I said, I'm making light of the situation, but it's an unfortunate circumstance. But the truth is, resigning from a big scandal like that, when a lot of people would just be fired on the spot if they worked lower on the totem pole, right? So, I don't know whether you think it's fair or just, or if people shouldn't pry into their personal lives. There's probably, well, some red tape, right? Anyway, but I don't want to leave it on a complete, Debbie Downer, because, well, there's people who are advocating and trying to stand up for themselves, and, it turns out that the players of the WNBA decided that they wanted to wear a t-shirt about, well, getting paid what they were owed, and I kind of think they forgot the difference between equity, equality, fair pay, and the fact that when entertainment is based on your revenue streams, right? I mean, all of us here on YouTube and all these kind of private, self-employed entertainers know that if there's not money coming in, there's not money to get paid. So, I don't know. Let me know if you think that's too harsh of a criticism, but I kind of think that's just how capitalism works, and currently, even though people argue with the ideology of it, that that's still how we make our money, and that's still how people end up, functioning in this society. So, anyway, well, that's about all I got for this Monday morning. I hope that helps you, lighten the mood and realize that maybe going back to work and after not sleeping this weekend wasn't so bad, because at least you get to go back to your regular life, right? And hopefully get paid a decent wage or, stuff like that. So, anyway, like I said, that's all I got. So, take care of yourself and take care of each other, and we'll see you later. Bye!